Okay, guys, I am recording now. Whose town hall is first for them today? Who's their first town hall for Pilot Club today?
Not mine. This is my 6th.
This is definitely my first.
It's probably. We have James here. James, this is James's first, probably.
Yeah, right.
This is my first.
James is getting tired. Who was that?
Jordan.
Oh, that was
He was
Jordan.
first.
Yeah.
He was first.
Well, we're gonna have quite a few people here. I think this is their first town hall. We try to do these quarterly, as much as we can. So let's get started, guys. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here with us. The purpose for these town halls is just to kind of get together. We can talk about some club business. We got some topics we're going to discuss. We also going to have representatives from each department of the club kind of give a status update, where we at, where we going, that sort of thing. We are also we're also going to have a winner for the company perks giveaway announced at the end. So if you want to find out who that is, you're going to have to stay till the end. This will probably be about an hour, from 8 till 9 Eastern. What I ask you to do, just a couple admin notes. What I ask you to do is, if you're not speaking, just mute yourselves or use push to talk. That way, we're not
Okay.
having this sort of chaos with background noise and such. So, but if you do have questions, please do ask. But if you could hold them till the end, that would be ideal, so we can get through the stuff we need to get through. All right, let me talk about. Well, I tell you what. Before we proceed, I wanted to play a video for you guys. It's a short video. As a reminder, we have our 3,000 members video contest active right now. We're almost at 3,000. I was hoping that we would be at 3,000 by this point, and then we could select the winner of that contest. However, we're about 100 short, so next month we'll probably have the winner for that. But I wanted to play a video, just kind of a cool video made by one of y'all, one of the members of the club. Here it is. All right, so that was pretty sweet. That was from Bush Outfitters, who was the member Balake. He is talked to him. Oh, let me pause this 1 second. Yep, I talked to him not too long ago. He's not been super active, but nonetheless, he put this video out for us, and so that's one of the entries into this video contest. So if you guys are interested in putting something together, short video, a minute or two, feel free to do that in the video contest thread under the streams and videos. So I just wanted to open with that. I thought it was kind of cool video. Not to say that their other videos are not cool, but the judges will judge that hopefully next month, and then um, we'll be able to select the winner. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about where we at as a club. We're going to talk about our growth over the last couple of years. There's also going to be a topic that I'd like to bring up about pilot competency. That's something that we've been having some issues with here and there, and I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page and members understand where we're coming from with that. I also wanted to mention a little bit about sort of the social and club etiquette, just for to kind of clear up some things and make sure everybody understands where we stand as a community as far as that. And then we'll talk about company perks, which is a new program we rolled out a few months ago. We'll talk about ways to submit your ideas, because at the end of the day, this is your club, and you run it the way you kind of take it in the direction you want to take it, and you can do that by submitting your ideas. We'll talk about that. We'll touch on training a little bit, and that's going to tie into our pilot competency discussion. And then we're going to have representatives from the flight operations, as far as admin and devs, if they're here, and then our virtual airlines charters. And then at the end of this whole thing, we'll announce the winner for the company perks program giveaway for this quarter. Again, as I mentioned, the town hall is quarterly, so every 3 months, every 3-4 months, we try to do this, kind of get together as a club, whoever can make it, and kind of have a conversation about it. And then at the end, if anybody wants to stick around and chat or fly or do whatever or ask questions, by all means. Again, hold your questions till the end if possible. And we're going to have different people talking throughout this meeting. So if you would pay attention to this, that would be great as well. All right, so let me start first with some numbers. And I apologize, I do not have a presentation for my portion. There'll be other presentations on screen as we go through, but I'm not going to have any slides this time around. Before we've done that, I decided not to do it this time, but it's okay. So statistics. So we are 100 members short of 3,000. That's pretty significant. The club's been in operation since April of 2021, so a little bit over 2 years. And as you can tell, we've gained tremendous momentum in the flight sim community, and I think our one of our strengths, or one of the things that attract people to the club, is we welcome all. We don't judge. People can have little experience with flight sim or be old heads like James, and who's been doing flight sim for, I don't know, James, 40 years? I don't know, 30 years? So the point is that all are welcome, right? And we pride ourselves on that diversity. I think the diversity is what really sets us apart. We are not snobs to say, well, you don't know this, so you can't be in the club. No, you don't know something, it's okay. You come in, you'll learn it. We all learn something every day, or at least strive to do so, so that we, continue with the hobby and continue to grow as virtual pilots, or some of us are real pilots. So all those things are really things that I think attract people to the club. So therefore, that growth can be attributed to that. However, I will say that because we welcome all, we do have quite a few members who are new to flight sim, or maybe they are less experienced in aviation, aircraft operation, aviation concepts, those types of things. Um, our club is really geared towards more serious flight sim enthusiasts. So um, it's not to say that there's anything wrong with just kind of messing around and flying and doing crazy stuff. There's a time and place for that, and again, no judgment. However, our focus as a club, as a community, is really on more serious approach to flight sim, um, specifically kind of realism in procedures, realism in ETC communications, realism in your flight plans, and so on and so forth. So those are the things that we as a community kind of focus on as a club, right? And with that, I'll just transition into the pilot competency topic that I wanted to bring up. And if you guys saw, maybe last month, I think, Chris posted something in the NOTAMs here. Chris is one of our staff members and a manager at our virtual airline. And he brought up a topic of um, pilot competency and just taking pride in being in the club and um, having a certain experience here that maybe we've gotten away from a little bit, right? I think for majority of the members here is a place to have a good time, um, being part of the community, doing our group flights, chatting with like-minded folks about flight sim topics and such. And a big part of the club is obviously doing group flights as a club. It's kind of a special thing. We obviously do it on VATSIM. As you guys know, we are an official partner of VATSIM, and that uh, sort of stamp of approval from VATSIM comes with some responsibilities. Obviously, or maybe it's not obvious to some people, but it is important for us as a club to make sure that we have good reputation on VATSIM. VATSIM is such a big part of what we do here in the club that really the ability for us to have good relationship with VATSIM controllers and specifically, Arctic management, in order for us to get solid coverage for our group flights is critical. So by not having a good reputation, we then jeopardize that relationship. Essentially, if our pilots do not perform up to high standards while flying these group flights, then it is going to be more difficult for us to secure coverage for our flights, for our group events, because ATC essentially is not want to. They will not want to provide services to us if they know that our pilots are a poop show, right? And I'm not saying that they are. There are some instances where we've had those situations, and that's why I'm bringing this up. Is that you can have 100 positive experiences and one bad one, and that one bad one will leave a bad mark on the reputation of the club. So, why am I saying all this again? Is just to make people aware, make you guys aware. And again, this is not aimed at anybody directly. If the shoe fits, sort of thing, or if the glove fits, whatever. Um, take that for what it is. But the point is that when you're flying with the club and when you're flying under a TPC call sign, you represent the club. You are an integral part of the club, and when you represent the club, whatever attitude you have, whatever that you're doing on the network directly reflects back to the club. So, and believe it or not, in some of the sort of bad situations that we've encountered over the last couple years. Uh, Controllers do let us know. And matter of fact, we specifically solicit feedback after our events, just like they do for how for their performance during the event and how they did and such. We also want to know about our guys and how we doing and where we need to tighten up. So we do get that feedback, and I can tell you this: at times, when these things happen, and we get some bad feedback about somebody, it is not a pleasant experience for anybody. And then, essentially, staff needs to go and chat with that person and make sure that they understand what the issue was and how they can fix it and move on. Obviously, we have measures in the club to mitigate these things, starting from things like the flight school that can help with learning, especially if the person's not maybe sure of certain procedures or certain things about operating aircraft or phraseology and such, all the way up to essentially dismissal from the club. So these measures, and I use the flight school as an example of kind of a remedial training. Obviously, it's there for another purpose, which is just increasing pilot competency overall for those who want it. So it's not just a tool in these situations. But um, long story short, what I ask you guys to do, what I'd like to see, because we've gotten away from this a little bit. What I'd like to see is when you guys are flying with the club, um, take pride in it. We are part of a very special organization. There are a lot of people here, both on staff and your fellow pilots, um, who really care about the club, who really care about making this a great community, a friendly, good place for people to come and enjoy the hobby, fly group flights, and participate in different events. A lot of us on staff specifically put a lot of effort into running the club and also into making sure that our reputation is up there. When when we talk to VATSIM and we get sort of an overall feel for how the club is doing, what I'd like to hear is, "Hey, you guys are doing awesome." And we most of the time hear that. However, in the recent months, we started to hear things here and there again about pilot competency. Another topic I'll mention briefly on this along the same lines is just being respectful of ATC. And I can tell you this: yes, it takes two to tango. Obviously, there wouldn't be any ATC if the pilots weren't flying, or there wouldn't be any pilots flying if there wasn't ATC. So we both need each other. But I can tell you this: be a bigger person, because everybody has a bad day here and there, and sometimes controllers are wrong, and it does happen. There's no point in arguing. There's no point in um, sort of having an attitude about it. You can, respectfully mention that, this is your point and what you were doing is okay. And if they disagree with you, so be it. There's a time and place to figure all that out. Be a bigger person. Let it go. Move on. Such a brief moment in your life that it's not worth fighting over or fussing or showing attitude or anything like that, right? Just be a bigger person. And there's a few situations that I've been in where I knew, okay, maybe the controller messed up a little bit. So what? I mess up. Everybody makes mistakes. You learn from it. You move on, and that's what we ask you guys to do, or the club in general. Again, I'm not talking to or about or to any specific person, just in general, kind of mentioning those types of things. All right. So enough about that. That's pilot competency. Again, take advantage of the tools we have. We have the flight school, which is fantastic. We have 3,000 members here that you can ask. So imagine all the experience we have in the club here. We have real world pilots who can answer questions, private, commercial. We have C-130 pilots. We have airline pilots here, ATP. We have air traffic controllers, both on VATSIM and in real life. And then we have obviously folks who are flight sim enthusiasts who've been doing this for a long, long time. So do take advantage of that if you need to. But please, let's take some pride in being here. Let's put things into the community. Put what you take away from the community. Try to put back um, to the community so that we grow stronger. So the next topic I wanted to mention is sort of social and club etiquette, right? And I think it applies to primarily voice channels, voice chat. Um, I know it gets difficult with a large group, but what I ask you guys to do, or if you see things happening like this, correct the person on the spot. Is be respectful of other people in voice chat. You know, if there's a conversation that's happening, it should be related to flight sim. If it's not, if there are two people talking about their dogs, that's great. But there's a place for that. You don't need to be in voice chat during um, a busy event. You can just go to one on one. You can go to any number of other voice channels and have the conversation about what food you had for dinner or whatever, but non-flight related type stuff. So keep that outside of the event voice chat. When we're doing these flights, we really should be concentrating on flying. That's why we're here. I understand the social aspect of it, and again, there's a time and place. And if it's if you have 20 people flying, and two want to talk about non-flight related stuff, well, those two folks probably can jump off and have that conversation. It's okay, but it's best to keep the event voice chat really dedicated to flying. We are here for this hobby. We're here to fly and enjoy that. So that's the main focus. So let's just do that. So that's part of the etiquette discussion. And then another thing is, I think in text chat, if you guys are not familiar, we do have various channels. What I've been seeing, at times people kind of put things in wrong channels, and I try to correct people, and our moderators try to do that. We just try to keep everything kind of neat and organized and streamlined so that it's easy to follow, it's easy to find. Um, Keep your conversations related to why we're here in the club, right? We all love to fly. We all love aviation. That should be the topic. Imagine if a new person comes in and they open crew chat and they see a bunch of, I don't know, weird, unrelated stuff. Well, most likely they're going to leave because they come here or they came here um, to be a part of the flight sim community, and that's what they should find in the chat channels. There's a channel for off topic, and pretty much anything can go in there. If you're looking for somebody to fly with, we have Fly With Me channel. So just go through the channels, or on our website we have a channel guide that talks about all the different types of things we can do with the channels and the threads, and that's that. So again, to recap, just be respectful, please. Put in back to the club what you take away from it. Um, Respect your fellow members. Um, don't interrupt. Let people finish their thoughts, their conversations. That sort of thing. Oh, and another quick thing, and again, this is not a dig at anybody specific, but if it fits you, then it's for you. I've noticed sometimes people do sort of play by play. Again, during a busy club event, it's probably not the right thing to do. We as much as we like hearing play by play of what you're doing, it does tie up the voice chat. So if you want to kind of just tone it down, if you're one of those who likes to do that, so that really people can concentrate on their flight and the conversations around the event. All right, so that's that. All right, so we covered those topics. I wanted to mention our company perks program. I mentioned earlier, and at the end we'll select the first winner for this quarterly event. But essentially, the way we do this is we have an algorithm built in, a custom algorithm that kind of takes into the account members' participation in group flights, in chat, in voice chat, and such. And based on that, we have our leaderboard and we have our points system, right? And the algorithm awards points based on those factors. So we have the commuter, frequent flyer, and the VIP. Oh, and also early adopter role comes in this program as well. Those are the folks that have been supporting the club early on. Oh, and then the charter's Top Gun too. So, excuse me. So, with this program, essentially, we want to reward people who are active in the club, and uh, essentially, when you get this role, you get enrolled into this program, and then every quarter you get your own special giveaway, separate from our monthly giveaway for all of the members. That is just for company perks people. So this is our first one, and um, essentially through our points system, we encourage people to fly group flights, to do explorer missions, to be active in the club, to kind of contribute to the community. And I can tell you, I've heard a lot of good things about the club from people who just come in and they say, "Oh man, the club is active. You guys do so many flights. Um, the chat is alive. People are talking. People are sharing things. So that's good to see. It's good to hear. So that's the point, really, for rewarding those who contribute to the club in those ways. If it's constructive and uh, valuable input, then that's where this kind of program comes in. And at the end of today's town hall, you guys will see we'll select the winner. Now, this first one, I know in the post we've mentioned that it's going to include some Flight Sim add-on, some hardware. By the way, the Flight Sim Expo is about to take place, and there's going to be some new hardware announced. So, company perks people, we may roll into some hardware prizes for the next one next quarter. Some custom TPC merch, we're working on that, gift cards, and more. So for this one, actually, the winner will get a $100 gift card, which is pretty good, considering this is as kind of a specialized, smaller group of folks in this program outside of our regular giveaway, our regular monthly giveaway. All right, so that's our company perks program. So next, okay, so I mentioned earlier, I wanted to talk to you about our idea box, which is right here. It's a special channel here, with specific instructions on how to submit your idea. Mentioned earlier, you guys are the ones running this club. It is your club. Early on, um, we realized that for us to be successful, we have to provide this feature so that you guys can have an avenue of providing ideas, what some of the things that you'd like to see in the club, maybe some things that need to go away, flight ideas, like anything and everything you can think of related to TPC. Can go in this idea box. So here are the directions. You run the suggest command. I think it still works with the question mark. Maybe that's going away. I'm not sure, but and then it creates the idea for you. You put whatever your idea is. People can vote on it. Um, it also creates, I think, it creates a thread in which then a discussion can be had. And trust me, we've implemented a lot of your ideas over the last 2 years. Eric actually keeps an archive of all of the ideas that have been completed. And there are a lot of good things that you guys have suggested over the last couple of years to really take the club to the next level. So I'm not promising. Um, oh, somebody just submitted kind of an idea here. Own application, like an app. Actually, we do have that in the works. Yeah, we have an app in the works, and maybe devs can talk about that when we get to them. But what was I saying? Yeah, not every idea is going to be possible, but what we do is we um, discuss it and see if it's something that we can implement. Then we implement it. And again, um, as you can tell here, 104 ideas, and a good number of them have been implemented. So we don't jump on this right away because it's time consuming to do the discussion and all the things that go into this, but we do look at them, we do discuss them, and then we essentially either deny it or implement it or have a further discussion to kind of clarify things. All right, so I encourage you guys to submit your idea. It is your club, and so with those ideas you really kind of shape the way the club operates.
Okay. That's nice.
Okay, next thing, let me take a look 1 second. I know our training manager was not going to be here. Do we have a representative for the training department? Doesn't look like it. Let me go here right quick.
Yeah, I'm here,
So,
Serge. It's Mike.
I'm sorry, who's that?
It's Mike DiCarlo. It's Mike
Oh,
from the
Mike,
training
what's up?
department. Hey,
Yeah, how you
what's
doing?
up?
Are you? Can you talk a little bit about uh, the
Training?
training program and yeah, maybe some stats or what are you guys working on and discovery flights and that sort of thing?
Yeah, sure. So for a training department, if anybody's new, if you go, I'm just not in front of my computer, so I can't show it, but whoever is sharing their screen maybe can bring it up. When you go to our website part, we have like a flying essentials course under the training department. So this is like kind of bite-sized lessons for basics like air traffic control, VFR flying, IFR, really basic topics. Maybe they're about 10 slides long, 10 to 15, and it's really just to show you the absolute bare minimum so you could be competent on a flight. So if you don't want to do the full flight school, you could look at these courses. Then if you go back up to the training department section, we do have, like Serge was saying before, a full actual flight school, which is kind of modeled off of a real world flight school in terms of like, we have like a ground school where you do kind of self-paced lessons. So if you'll notice here, we have the P1, which is our full course right now, which is basically private pilot, equivalent in real life. And then I believe Elliot said pretty soon we're going to have the P2 course up and running, probably by the end of the summer, which is more of an instrument rating. So private pilot for basics is already been up and running for a while. Again, self-paced course. You do kind of a test, a written test at the end. And then after that, you do practice flights with like myself and a bunch of our other instructors that are available. And then you do an actual check ride, kind of like you would in real life. So again, it's kind of try to modeled to give you that, real world experience as much as possible in a sim. In terms of statistics, I know we're constantly doing training flights. I'm doing them every weekend. I'm sorry, I'm outside. Constantly doing them every weekend. So I believe we're doing at least probably 15 to 20 training flights a month with people, which is great. And we have more instructors that came on board. So, the more the merrier. If anybody's interested in doing the flight school, definitely recommend it. And I think everybody that's done it, we've heard nothing but positive feedback that they've, gotten something out of it. I think that's about it. Like I said, we got the instrument course should be coming out hopefully pretty soon. And then after that, I believe the intention is to really round it out with the multi-engine commercial. And then hopefully we get to airline transport pilot training as well would be the P4 rating. But again, they're modeled off of the VATSIM rating. If you complete the P1 course and pass the check ride, you will get your P1 rating on VATSIM, which is the private pilot rating. So unless I miss anything, Serge, back to you.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the training department, the dedication that you guys have towards increasing the pilot competency and training folks who really need the training and taking pride in that is commendable. So I thank you specifically and all of the training department for doing what you guys do. You take the time out of your busy schedule, really bring that realism piece to flying, because I know the flight school, you guys really are all about realistic procedures and and things. So thank you for that. One thing I was going to mention, and maybe you can expand on that
Sure.
briefly, is the Discovery flight that's coming up this Saturday.
Yep, I was just thinking that as you said it too. Yeah, so discovery flights, what we try to do is at least once a month, we have what we call a discovery flight. So if you're very new to either aviation or flight simming in general, just on our dispatch page, it's always on a Saturday night. You will see that we have a discovery flight. It's very newbie friendly. So if you want like a kind of a safe space to make mistakes, this is the flight to do it on. The controllers are very, very understanding that this is brand new. They're generally about 110, 120 nautical miles, which, we try to finish within like an hour and a half to 2 hours. There's a full briefing, like Serge has got up on the screen. So if you don't know what to do, read the briefing. We also do a briefing, 15 minutes before the event. And usually I jump on because I run these. I generally jump on even earlier. I'll be on like a half an hour before. So if you have any questions or unsure of how to, use the aircraft or procedures or anything, just jump on a little early when I open the event, and more than happy to answer any question. Again, it's super newbie friendly. It's the place to make mistakes because everybody understands, that you're new to it, and have fun doing it and learn something in the process. And that's what we're there for.
Perfect. I hope you guys take advantage of that. I participated in one of those. Again, I mean, I've been simming for a long, long time, and I got to tell you though, I enjoyed being part of that group and flying with you guys, and maybe answering questions or just having a good time flying these flights. Obviously, if you're more experienced, it's not really aimed at that crowd, but if you need some encouragement in a friendly atmosphere, take that first step to get on VATSIM, or maybe you're still kind of green on VATSIM, you want to practice. Those are great flights, and Mike has done a great job with that, as well as Elliot with the whole training program. So thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. So these
Excuse
tools
me,
are
Serge,
here.
can I say something real quick about the Discovery flights?
Yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
So for the Discovery flights, if you're new, more than likely you will have some people who are very experienced, and they will always be willing to help new people come and fly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely. And again, we have such a diverse community here, and we have so much experience that, in general, really, I mean, and again, we don't judge people. There's no such thing as stupid question. You ask, you get the answer. You may not like the answer sometimes because the answer may be more what you was hoping for, a quick answer. It may be more expanded, but like Andrew said, yeah, with these flights here, Discovery, very friendly atmosphere. Again, controllers are friendly. The members are friendly. More experienced members always want to help, answer questions, make sure that everybody's learning. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's me. I hope it's everybody really in the club. Is you get better, you get more enjoyment from learning something new in this hobby, or learning something new about aviation or aircraft operation or ATC communications or certain procedures and things, right? It's always good. Nobody knows everything, so we keep learning. So all right, so that was the training team. Next, I'd like to turn it over to flight operations. Now, our flight operations boss, Greg, is actually on the road to Flight Expo. He's going to control for the Houston live event on Friday, but he's also going to kind of represent the club for us at the Flight Sim Expo this year. So I don't, Greg, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
stopped
So
now.
yeah,
So
if you're able safely, and if you don't mind, I know you're on the road driving, but kind of giving us an update from flight ops.
absolutely. I I stopped to get something to eat either way, so I'm parked, so we're good. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Greg, the flight ops lead with the Pilot Club. I've been with the Pilot Club since May of last year, and I took over the flight ops role for flying Thursdays I want to say sometime in the fall, late part of the year last year, as well as I picked up the TPC hangar video from Paul when Paul was doing them, and then I took over the lead position sometime here in the earlier part of this year. I think I can only say when it comes to flight ops, the numbers have been going up and up with everything else in the club. I think that we have some great flight ops members. I'll start with Mark. He does a great job every week with GA Tuesday. If we move on to Bush Wednesday, when we were doing it every week with Willie, and then he had to let that go. But what's awesome is Dylan. I have to say this because we have more than one Dylan, but Dylan 1496. He's the new flight ops team member that does the Bush Wednesdays, and that's I want to say the fourth Wednesday of every month. And he's got already plenty of great ideas. We've already got the next month's one in mind. I'm sorry, next week's and the following months in mind. And then Flying Thursday, obviously, I've been doing that since last. I think I have a list here. I think it was like November sometime I took over, and I'm trying to get some diversity so we're not going to the same areas all the same time as much as I try to make that happen. It still sometimes happens with the other flights. But we move on to Friday. F&O is kind of out of our hands. We just like to tag along with all the other pilots that want to get in line to take off at whatever runway is that Friday's airport. Obviously, in this case, this Friday is the Houston Live, which happens to be an FNO. I don't know if there has been an FNO for any live event this year yet, so it's supposed to be a doozy. Saturday is kind of the thing about Saturday is it's kind of our flex day. World Tour, the first Saturday of every month, Lucas has been putting on, and that's been going on for a while. It's obviously with scheduling conflicts, we've had to push a couple, but the most recent one, I believe, was Vancouver to Vegas, and then the next one's going to be from Vegas to Mexico City. Correct me if I'm wrong there. The second Saturday of every month we picked back up is the challenge flight, and Jude is the one that I selected to do that. He actually was more than happy to do it. It's something as soon as I told him about kind of what it was, he's like, oh yeah, sign me up. It used to be Micah, and I think there's some things that got in the way in his personal life, so he just wasn't able to commit to that as far as I knew. I think the big thing with the challenge flight was before, nothing wrong with this. Micah just found some, difficult approaches or, difficult arrivals or whatever it may be. Some airports tucked away, wherever. The main focus with the new challenge flight with Jude running it is he uses his real world experience to bring in some more challenging procedures, not necessarily the approach itself. This last month we went up to Missoula, but we also used the obstacle departure out of Gunnison, which was an uncontrolled field in Colorado. And I think between that and the RNAV arrival into Missoula, it was actually a lot of fun because you get to put a lot of real world stuff into there. With challenge flight, I don't want to deter people, but I want you to know that we're trying to make it more of a you got to know the real world procedures. We're more than happy to help you if you don't know how to do them, but just bear that in mind. It's going to be difficult. You got to be ready mentally. But we welcome you either way. we want to help people get better at procedures if they're having problems. Any other Saturdays? Oh yeah, Discovery Flight, as we just talked about. I don't think I need to really step on Mike's toes when it comes to that, but because he hit that on the head. I've even flown in a Discovery Flight, and I was there for if anyone had questions. I was more than happy to help. And then Sunday is Sunday Fun Day. It's another one of everyone's favorites. It's usually a A to B, and Andrew has been doing a great job with that. And he's always got something great lined up. I don't think I've ever seen a Sunday Fun Day where I was like, man, that seems boring. He's always got something good. So everyone involved in the flight ops team, I think, has been doing a fantastic job. Unfortunately, at right now, we don't have any positions where we're like in absolute need. I know that I've had a couple people come up to me for that, but as of right now, I don't have anyone specifically, but I've had some ideas brewing in the last, I don't know, couple weeks now of some stuff we could come up with for some new stuff, but perhaps like an unhosted type of event on a Monday or something. I plan on putting some polls out in the Discord in the future to just get some brainstorming from our members. Like Serge was saying, this is your club. I mean, we want to do what you guys want to do. So, and in fact, some of the fly-in Thursdays coming up in August, I'm actually going to poll our members and see what we want to do, and then I'm going to go from there. So we have the member requested fly-in Thursdays. Let's see. A glider event is in the works. We're trying to get the glider event all scheduled up and ready to go for that. This will all be posted, so don't worry if it's not just going to be talked about. When it comes to, I know there's the Abbotsford Air Show, which we did last year. We partnered with them. That's up in, I don't remember the specific place. Well, Abbotsford,
Canada.
but that's up in Canada. Yep, up by Vancouver. So we'll be a part of that as well. That was actually a pretty cool experience when I did that. It'll be even cooler because when I did it, or when I joined, I had X-Plane. And no offense to X-Plane, but I'm sure on Microsoft it would look really good too. And then lastly is a brand new thing me and Serge have been kind of figuring with. We have a member of our club that expressed interest in this, and as well as I've mentioned stuff about it, is a long haul type of flight event or something similar. And I think what we narrowed down to was everyone's familiar with the Explorer missions. We're going to do a long haul type of Explorer mission. So it's not specifically an Explorer mission. It's a separate thing on its own. It'll be posted in the blog. It'll be long haul flights. You'll be able to fly those flights, get TPC points, just like you would if you were doing an Explorer flight. And Serge has the nice logo that he made up on his screen. We're still kind of working out the kinks with that, but for the most part, we want to make sure that everyone that has an interest in the long haul can be included in this. We don't want to make them way too long, and it's like, well, I could never do that. I don't want to sit on my computer for 15 hours. But we don't want to make them short because then they're not even long hauls. So we just want to find a right medium, perhaps even make legs to it, and every month kind of change it up. Again, like Serge said, the idea box is there. Feel free to put your thoughts in with that as well. But as for flight ops specifically, I don't really have anything else to say. Serge, do you have any questions for me, I guess, that I should bring up?
I was going to say, great briefing. Thank you. And Greg, I got to thank you really from all of us at the club. You came in and you're doing an awesome job managing all these flights. Guys, if you don't know, it's not an easy job. There are a lot of moving parts. There's Brad Sim coordination. There coordination with the flight hosts, the checking of the flight plans, and ensuring everything's functioning correctly and listed on the website, on the Discord, and everything else. So it's been awesome. We thank you for that. And also, guys, Greg did mention this briefly in the beginning about the weekly videos that he puts out. Please do check them out. They do talk about the flights for upcoming week. And later on, we plan on bringing some other cool elements into the video, such as interviews with staff members, interviews with regular club members. There's going to be cool videos. They come out usually when you put them out, usually around Sundays or Mondays every week. So do check them out on our YouTube page. Again, thank you for doing that. And I got to tell you guys, if you don't know, if you are not aware of other flight sim communities, we are killing it with flights. As many flights as we do every week. Think about all the coordination that goes into that and the planning and making sure there's no conflict with other events and things. One of the things I keep hearing from folks about our club is that we really do engage our members. We do have these events all the time. I mean, we have several every week. So multiply that by 52 weeks. It's a crazy amount of flights that we do. And really, it's kind of our key function, right? We're here to fly. This is our primary focus, flying. And so Flight Ops does that, and they're doing a tremendous job with that. So thank you for that. All right. So actually, next we're going to our virtual airlines. I think James is here to give us a briefing. James, I just realized that I should have clicked on your slides earlier because I don't have access to them, so I can't show them. If you want to share your screen instead, or give me access to the whatchamacallit,
Slides.
to the slides. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. The link I gave you, I gave you access, but let me see what I can do
Let me
here.
see. I requested. I don't know. And while James is doing that there, just briefly, we'll mention to those who don't know, we do have a virtual airline in the club. It's optional, obviously. I got the page up right here. It's called TPC Charters. It is an airline that runs on air, which is a airline management platform. Unfortunately, it is not free. The platform itself, however, it is very nominal fee. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. It's not a huge amount of money for what you get with that platform is really a lot. And the thing with our airline is that it really gives you a purpose for your flights. I don't know if you guys been in a situation where after a while it's kind of like, okay, well, where do I fly now, or what do I do now? And having the virtual airline kind of provide those flights for you, and they're really interesting. There are all kinds of variety of all kinds of flights you can do for the airline, utilizing all kinds of aircraft. If I can show you our fleet here for the VA, and this is a small portion of it, by the way. We just, after a while, I think, stopped updating this page here. These are all different aircraft that you can fly in the virtual airline, and you can request whatever particular aircraft you'd like to fly. So, James, how we doing on the access?
No, it's not. I didn't get that, so we can go without. That's all right.
Okay, so yeah, if you just want to talk us through about your update, thanks.
Okay. So I'm James, TPC 36, CEO of TPC Charters. I'll give you a brief look at what's going on with TPC Charters and what we're all about. So first off, TPC Charters, it's the virtual airline of the Pilot Club. Sometimes we get new members come along and they think TPC is a virtual airline, so TPC Charters must be the heart of TPC. We in Charters management like to agree with this sentiment, but in fact, now Charters is just one of many activities, the types of things we've been talking about already tonight, that you can choose to become involved with if you wish. TPC Charters uses the on-air airline manager software to host the virtual airline. And to become a member of TPC Charters, you would have to install and use the on-air platform. Now, the downside, this is pay-to-play software. There's a cost. It runs about right now, I believe it's $10 US dollars per month for a monthly subscription. But then they have like a 3-month, a 6-month, a 1-year, a 2-year, and they keep getting cheaper and cheaper as they go longer. I think a 2-year right now is $66 US. You can get a 1-week free trial to see if you like it or not and decide whether you want to purchase it after that. If you do, you can go through Aerosoft, in which case they call it a subscription, but if you get it through Aerosoft, it's not really a subscription, as in they won't just automatically charge you when it's up. You'd have to buy another another period of time to continue going on with it through them. So They call it a subscription, but I believe if you go through On Air themselves, it would be, but if you go through Aerosofts, it's not a true subscription. Anyway, and On Air, you're a pilot, you start your career, you can choose to rent, lease, purchase your own aircraft, find jobs to fly that hopefully you'll make money at, and you can choose to join TPC Charters, virtual airline, and On Air, in which case we provide you with aircraft of your choice and pay all the expenses involved and give you a percentage of the gross profits of every job that you complete. So it's a good way to get a company started, or just to continue that route if you like to do that. By picking up where you left off last with your aircraft and selecting one of the jobs that are available, a lot of members really like this, find it kind of adds a sense of purpose to their flying. It's not just, well, where am I going to fly today? Well, no, I got to go see where I need to fly today. I got jobs to do or whatever. And we work that into your flying routine. Another question comes up often: are charter flights done on VATSIM? That's totally up to you. Some pilots do all their charter jobs on VATSIM, Surge, and others, and some don't do any flights don't do them all offline. It's up to you how you choose to fly them for general day-to-day goings on. Actually, anything in charters. As for types of aircraft you can fly, if we do everything from a 172 up to medium range airliners like Airbus, like the 321 or the Boeing 739 or 757. We're working also on long range. I think that's where Greg got the idea. But we're still working out some profitability issues that we need to get straightened out before we can offer up long haul airliner in charters. We also have a number of FBOs around North America and indeed the world. We've got about, I think it's 44 right now in North America. It might have gone up one. 8 in Europe. These allow us to generate jobs that interconnect our FBO network and are tailored to the types of aircrafts that we have in the fleet. But you're not limited to flying FBOs. You can fly basically anywhere in the world you want with any type of aircraft you want that we're able to support. We also have regular events. Each quarter, we have our quarterly event that started back in September of last year with the Alaska Gold Rush. This was a vision that the original founder and CEO of Charters, Dude, that's airline code Delta Alpha 01, DA01, Dude in Discord. And it was a huge success. We all enjoyed the incredible scenery and some challenging flights up there in Alaska. Then last December, we had our South American summer, which we flew to a lot of locations that a lot of us never would have thought to go to, didn't even know anything about, but were introduced to and saw some amazing scenery along the way, had some challenging landing situations. It was another great event. In March, this past March, we had our spring break. We were flying, spring break students in and out of a lot of great spring break destinations. And then in addition to the charters events, we have occasionally we'll work in regular TPC events like Fly In Thursday in with a charters tie-in, so that if you fly a charters job, we'll have special picks or something. If you fly one of those jobs into the destination airport for a fly-in Thursday, you get, as doing a charters job, you get extra TPC points for doing that. That depends a lot on availability and popularity at times, and how taxing certain events might be. We can't do that on things where there's going to be the chance of long ground delays or 5 hours of being vectored around to get into land. That wouldn't make the jobs wouldn't pay. So long as they can pay, we can work them in, and we're happy to do that. Our next big event starts next week. It's going to be Summer Heat. It kicks off with next week's Fly-In Thursday. And for the charters Summer Heat event, we're going to be focusing on the southwestern United States. I know we also have a Southwestern airline tie-in going on with some other events, but here in charters, it's the Southwestern U.S. that we'll be focusing in on. It's going to run for, it's a 30-day long event. It's not an online, voice chat event. This is something we do in on air, where we have, we start out with 27 different airports where you can fly, charters pilots can choose to fly jobs in and out of. There's going to be a new set of airports added at the start of the third week, and you get TPC points for, every airport that you're able to check off on that list. Some people try and get them all. Some people are happy to try and get one in a week. Whatever you want, you can do. The event details and sign-up information for that can be found on the blog post, as the current blog post on the Pilot Club website right now. Another thing we have going on to keep things interesting is our Top Gun Award. That's an award presented to each month to the pilot who flew the most hours in TPC Charters aircraft over the course of the previous month. The winner of the Top Gun Award gets 2,500 TPC points, the distinction of being the only TPC member with the Charter's Top Gun server role for the following month. And they'll also have their name permanently entered into the Charter's Hall of Fame, which you can find in the Charter's section of TPC website. So who flies for charters? Well, we currently have 88 members of TPC Discord are also charters pilots right now. Over the course of the existence of charters, actually not the existence, since July of 2022, since July of last year, we've had over 100 members. Some come and go. We still have 88, so that's a good stay power. Charters pilots so far this year, they've put in over 4,000 hours of flight time, and that's just ones that are flying charters aircraft. People who are flying their own company's aircraft aren't even included in that number. We currently have 40 aircraft in the fleet. Like we say, anything that's available in the sim, if it's been there for more than a week, it's available and on air, and you can fly it in charters, so long as we're not up into the long hauls yet. And we'll be adding a bunch more to the fleet for the summer heat event, because you get extra aircraft for that. Charter's management team keeps things running smoothly here. And we have on that team, bring that up, we got Rob. Rob, stand up, would you? Thank you. TPC 328. Chris couldn't be here tonight. Chris, TPC 215. Myself, we also have Tyler K, TPC 426, but he's on the leave of absence right now. So if you need to contact a manager, leave him alone right now. Rob's our FBO manager. Chris is our airliner manager, and Tyler is normally our event manager. The main thing, though, that makes TPC Charters what it is the TPC Charters pilots. They're really the heart and soul of everything that we do, and we just want to give a big thank you to all our TPC Charter pilots out there. If this sounds like something you might be interested in and you want to find out more about it, you want to learn how to join TPC Charters, you can give it a try. The best way is to take a look at the Charters Welcome channel in Discord, which will give you the links to all the right places in the TPC website, the charter section of the TPC website. There you'll find we've got a video, how to join video, another video just on taking your first job. There's a full document, the charter TPC Charters pilot guide, which you can find there, and step-by-step instructions on how to go about getting it on air and joining. If you have any questions, you can always ask in Charters chat, or DM one of the Charters managers specifically if that's the way you want to go. We'd love to have you join us. So that's what I've got. Thanks, Serge. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Really, I gotta commend you guys on all the efforts that you guys put into running this airline. those who don't know, there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, just like with running the club as well, with staff, with virtual airline. There are a lot of things that the charters managers are doing behind the scenes to make sure that the operations go smoothly for everybody. They also help new members of the airline, uh, get situated and such. And then sometimes, people have issues with certain jobs or flights, and they help resolve those. And of course, James is keeping it all together, running stats, making sure everything's on track, just like a real airline, really. If you think about maybe a smaller, not a tier one airline, but a smaller airline, although you guys have grown um, over the last year, really, as far as your um, fleet and the FBO network and all of those types of things. And it's, again, I've talked about realism in the club, and we strive for that realism when it comes to flight simulation. The virtual airline really adds to that, and I personally enjoy flying these flights. I keep it simple. I get a job, I fly it, and then I get another job, I fly that. I don't do multi-leg jobs or anything like that, but really gives you a purpose for the flights. You also feel like you're part of a very tight knit community within the tight knit community, so even tighter. We share stories about our flights. We have some running jokes about some of the interesting cargo that we get to fly. We also fly executives, part of the corporate missions. There are sightseeing missions. There are all kinds of cool things that are happening in the VA. So like James said, if you guys are interested, do check that out. And thank you, James, for the update. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go a little bit over time, but we're almost done. So next, I wanted to see if we have any developers reps here.
I
See
mean, I guess I can count as that.
I guess, yeah. I guess Eric will count as a as a developer. So Eric is our dev team. A team lead and admin and whatever else, everything else essentially. But yeah, let's get an update from the developers, what you guys been up to, and then if you have anything on the admin side as well, please do fill us in.
Okay. So there's been quite a few updates. Big major one is we migrated everything to Cloudflare, and I'm sorry for those of you who are not technologically advanced. I'm going to say a lot of big words and a lot of technical words, and I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible to understand, but sometimes, I'll say things that most people don't understand. Just know that it's for the betterment of the club, and things have gotten extremely better. So the main thing is we moved all of our DNS records to Cloudflare. Basically, what that means is when you go to flightschool.thepilotclub.net, it goes through a different provider to get to that website. It's actually increased a lot of the speeds on most of the websites that I've tested, including the main website. And that's just kind of how Cloudflare works. It's a fantastic service, and that's one of the major ones. Another major issue that we had was we had somebody who was trying to gain access to one of our databases. We essentially blocked them from doing that. And it was so bad that it almost made our server inoperable for a little bit. So there was a big block of time that the server was extremely slow to do anything. And once we figured out the root cause of it, we were able to fix that, and we've had nothing but great success since. All of our web services are quite fast. So that's a huge plus. Cloudflare also ties into that. It also mitigates DDoS attacks, which is basically somebody trying to punch their way into our web services. It blocks those types of requests from coming in and actually allows us to monitor any such occurrences and kind of go from there, which is super, super nice. For sake of argument, VATSIM uses the same thing. And it's a very nice system to have. The call sign website, we're working on making it even faster and making it much better as far as the look of it, how it acts, making sure that the call signs are correct. And when you request a new call sign, things look presentable, stuff like that. We've got the base code now. It's migrating to a new database so that it's faster and there's a lot less issues. And also just kind of making it a little more user friendly as well. I'm huge on user friendliness on my end. If I can understand it by looking at it in the first 4.5 seconds, 99% of the people can as well. Because I'm still kind of also in the learning stage as well, and a lot of our developers are. We know what most people will look at, but we also know the back end of it too. So, user input. I also take input from staff, so it just makes it a lot better overall. Another project we're working on is changing the way that the Discord bot utilizes the aviation quiz. So there will be no change on the user side, but the way that the bot reads it and how it gets the questions and stuff like that, we're trying to improve that. And the other end of it is that way we can add and delete and change questions much easier. That's another thing that we're working on as well. Let's see what else. The TPC Charters team is getting something cool. I'm not going to divulge too much into it. I'm going to let them have all the fun, but let's just say there's some things in the works for them. As far as admin notes go, as a reminder, the TPC Points channel itself, please don't post your rank cards. It clutters up the channel. People aren't able to see their points. It very much clutters up the channel. I've been going through. Anytime I see somebody post it, I delete it. It keeps the flow of it. There is a thread in there that you can post your rank cards, so please utilize that. If you have any development issues, please make sure to either ping me, ping Surge. Although Surge is just going to ping me directly, so I don't know why you ping him. But, he likes visibility of it as well. Or any developer, and we'll try and get it situated. Most times it can be handled within 24 hours. Sometimes almost instantaneously, depending on who you ask. We try to strive for a great user experience when you encounter errors. We're mitigating a lot of the errors. A lot of the errors are starting to go away as we improve things. So hopefully in the near future, it should be fairly seamless for the development side as well. And Mark, if you guys look in the channel of Magneto Lounge, it kind of explains what Cloudflare is. I haven't looked at that. That's great. Thank you, Mark, for doing that. And I've got a couple other ideas as far as development goes that I have to run by Surge before I announce, but that's pretty much all I have. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns for me?
We love you, Eric.
I don't think that's any questions then.
Yeah. Hey, Eric. This is Mark. I just wanted to say, I have seen other Discord servers in aviation groups, and I want to say you guys are doing a bang up job. The bots, the interaction has really made it so much fun to be on this Discord server. So thanks for your service, man.
No problem. Yeah, and I'm a lot of other people have kind of said it multiple times, but I think I'm gonna kind of say it again. If you guys see something that you want to add into, the Discord bot or the server, there's two ways to do it. The first way is to put it in the idea box, and we can discuss it. We can have a conversation. I'm always open to new ideas. I can think of a million ideas. Doesn't mean they're good, but I can think of them. And the other way is putting in some code on GitHub. If you have some code, you know how to code. The Discord bot itself is an open repository, so you can go in there and request a feature, and we'll take a look at it. We'll make sure that it's good to go, and we might even implement it. We had somebody that did one that we still need to work on, but it's a great idea. But the idea box is the preferred method. So.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. So, yeah, and I gotta also give you guys huge props. I know we ask a lot of you guys to really bring it to the next level, and you guys do that with the custom things that you develop and just the user experience. And I think it's really cool to have these features in the club. I'm just blown away that you can synchronize your P ratings with VATSIM. You can have your METAR data, airport data, charts. All those commands are there. By the way, if you go to the flight crew lounge on the website and you click on server bot commands, and I think it's also in the SOP in the Discord if you prefer to get to it that way. Here's a list of all the different commands that you can run in the club to help you, automate some things and expedite and help out. So do
I
take
do have a
advantage of
couple of
that.
things about the
Like
commands
Mark said,
too.
not a lot of communities have that sort of
Hello.
these sort of features. So do take advantage. All right, so we've
Hold on,
almost
sir.
come. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
have a few
Andrew.
things. I have a few things about
Okay,
the
go
commands.
ahead.
I tried to do a few of the commands in the club, but they seem to not work.
Which ones?
Some of them are outdated. We have
Yeah, like I tried the route. Like I tried the route command.
The what?
Let me look at the
Yeah, some of the
commands
commands
again.
maybe. I mean, you guys take a look at the list and see if everything still is in there. But anyways, the major ones, like I said, I think the one that people like using is the METAR command, or to get the weather for the airport. Or oh, by the way, there are some fun ones too, social ones like the dad jokes. Those are good, and a bunch of other things in there. Anyways, so. All right, cool. All right, awesome. So we're almost at the end here. What I'd like to do next, and I didn't mention this in the beginning, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank our staff, all of the members. There are about 30 people here, if my math is correct. I've been out of school for quite some time now, but I wanted to kind of mention these are the folks who are the backbone of the club. They are volunteers. Contrary to popular belief, they do not get paid to contribute their time and energy to be in the club, but they do it every day and they contribute to the community significantly. Just like how in the beginning I talked about contributing, those contributions to the community, you put in what you get out of it. These are the folks that stepped up and really filled the roles that allow us to continue successfully operating the club. Somebody's got a hot mic. All right, we got Andrew, and I'll go through the list quick here, just so you guys get some kudos and you guys know who are those special people are. So Andrew, our flight ops Sunday Fun Day. We got Chris. He's a TPC Charters VA manager. Chris, 1448, is a flight instructor in flight school. David is assistant training manager. We have Diego, who does the weather. Dylan, flight ops. That's the Bush Wednesdays, the new iteration. Elliot, of course, our TPC training manager. We got Eric, who's a server manager, dev team lead, and admin. We have Ethan, flight ops. He does FNOs for us. Evan, been away for a little bit due to life events and stuff. He does our weather as well for briefings. Fred's on the training team. Greg, you've heard from, flight ops team lead. You've heard from James. He's the charter CEO. The other James, 410, is our screenshot contest manager. He's going to take over actually running the screenshot contest starting in July. Jesus is our developer. We have Jonah also on the dev team, as well as Josh. Jude does the challenge flights, flight ops team. Don't worry about my wife. She's a consultant there. She's not really part of the team, but I do consult with her sometimes. When Eric gives me a hard time, I ask her how I should deal with it. All right, we got Kelvin, also a developer. Leo's our training team, flight instructor, I believe. Losh is on dev team. Lucas does the world tour and helps out with air marshal duties. Luis is our flight instructor. McGuire's on the training team. Mark, as you guys know, flight ops for GA Tuesday. Matt is our flight instructor. Mike, you've heard from him, training ops coordinator. He does the discovery flights. Rob is a TPC charters VA manager. We have Seth, who does our media. Tom does our Instagram. Tommy is our awesome merchandise manager. He does all your t-shirts and stickers for TPC. Hit him up. Tyler is our TPC Charters VA manager. Udo became our flight instructor on the training team. And Willie is our ground crew or moderator. And there's some other folks here who are actually also moderators. It's not listed. So from me personally and on behalf of the club, thank you guys for what you do. I hope you get fulfillment from leading the club, and really these are the folks that make things happen. Now, being regular members is awesome also, and you have different ways to contribute to the club and to the community, even providing cool ideas for things, flights and features and whatever else you want to provide ideas for is really a good way to contribute to the community. Also helping other members, and we have plenty of regular members, non-staff, who jump in and answer questions, help out with, showing somebody how to do something. We do have a section in Discord here. Let me see if I can find it. So many channels. We do have a section called Help Forum right here, which has a bunch of things that, if you need help, drop it in there. Somebody will help you, hopefully. But it's there for members and staff and anybody else. Any issues you may have, you can create a post, tag it right quick, and whatever issue you may be having, the club may or will help you get it resolved. All right, so that's that. So next thing we're going to do, so our very first Company Perks giveaway winner, I ran the command earlier and selected the person. I'm going to show you the screenshot of that. Again, a $100 gift card for this one, and as we go forth, we're going to come up with some cool prizes, such as flight sim hardware, different add-ons, other gift cards to like Orbix and stuff like that. So we're going to think of kind of cool ideas, but I think in general, just a gift card, say thank you from us for being a part of the club is a cool prize as well, because you can take that money, you can take that crisp $100 bill and you can spend it any way you want, hopefully on flight sim related stuff, but it's your money to do with how you wish. So let me go into my
Come on, let me win it.
files here.
I don't care if I win it, actually. Whoever wins is lucky.
Even more prepared. Where is it at? Right here, Company Perks. All right, so the first winner, or the winner of the first inaugural Company Perks giveaway is Jen. Round of applause.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay! All right, so and the way, just for transparency, the way we do this, we have a regular giveaway command that takes all the members of the giveaway roll and then selects a random winner. We have a special one for Perks giveaway, which again takes the leaderboard rolls, the early adopters roll, and the charters Top Gun roll, and picks from those. So that's what the computer picked. It's Jen. You guys probably know him. He posts a bunch of screenshots all the time. He's also a charters VA pilot. So Jen, I don't think he's in the chat. TPC 280. I'll ping him. So he's got the $100 gift card, courtesy of the Pilot Club. All right. I'll also say this: everybody who attended the town hall today will get 500 TPC points. My only concern, I do see some folks who are deafened. So Jordan, Jude, Mr. Jefferson. I'm not sure if you guys are flying and you're just here with everybody else or what the deal is. But anyways, we'll figure this out. But everybody gets 500 points. And then finally, I wanted to close our giveaway. Oh, I've just got the news that Jen is getting married today. So
That's even
that's
better.
awesome. Well,
That's
guess
even
what?
better.
He just got $100, so that's awesome. So we'll have the next giveaway for company perks program specifically in 3 months. The winner of our May and June regular giveaway will be announced first week of July, so stay tuned for that. And then I wanted to show you this cool clip. I was just going through some other clips, and I found this clip. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cue it up right quick.
While you're queuing that up, what I'm gonna do after we end is I'm gonna go ahead and upload
my screen again. Sorry, guys.
We'll upload the town hall to YouTube.
I thought this video was was pretty cool too. Here we go.
341 heavy because we're heavy.
Oh right, I'm a big boy now. I gotta put that in. UPS 341
just like me.
Heavy.
If you actually say it like that.
Who are we talking to?
Indianapolis ground.
Indianapolis ground UPS 341 heavy with information Delta. IFR clearance to Oshkosh. UPS 341 heavy. I have your clearance advised, ready to copy.
Oh gosh. Forgot about that nose down trim. Nose down. No, we're stalling. Fuck. Poor city traffic, Pelican 341, clear runway 33.
Yes, that's one way to clear a runway.
So, it's a pretty cool video. I mean, and that's from Steven. I think, Steven, you're in here. I don't know if you're on your own stream here or, yep, I think you're on your own stream. But anyways, again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the club. Really, you guys are the ones who make it really what it is. Staff is there. It's the backbone. They take care of all the things in the background, but the dynamic of the club is determined by the members. Remember that. So contribute to the community, get back or put back what you take from it. This is a great community. We've received a lot of positive feedback from flight sim community in general. A lot of people know about us and know our members and the quality of pilots that we have. So keep that the same way, right? That reputation, that when somebody says, "Oh, I fly, with the Pilot Club," they go, "Oh, that's awesome. I've heard good things about it," right? Versus like, "Oh, well, yeah, we've seen some bad things with the Pilot Club." We don't want that to happen. So I've opened with the pilot competency stuff. I'll close with it. And again, I appreciate everything you do for the club. I appreciate you being here. I know you have a